Nassar Electronics presents Alternating Relays. Description: alternating relays are used in applications where the optimization of load usage is required by equalizing the runtime of multiple loads. This avoids having idle loads that might deteriorate due to lack of use and provide no safety margin. In addition, the alternating relay turns on multiple loads at the same time for additional load capacity if one load cannot keep up with the demand. This alternating action is normally initiated by a control switch such as a float switch or pressure switch. Each time the initiating switch is opened, turning off a load, the alternating relay will change state, thus alternating the multiple loads. Typical applications include pumps with float switches as the initiating contact or compressors with pressure switches or thermostats as the initiating contact. When demand increases and more pumps are required, it automatically starts 2, 3, or up to 4 pumps simultaneously to meet the demand. General characteristics of our alternating relays: 120 or 220 volts AC power supply. They alternate and simultaneously operate loads of any capacity and voltage. Includes a selector switch to bypass a load for maintenance. Load operation indicators. AS2 model for 2 loads. 120 or 220 volts AC power supply. Common terminal for the lead and lag input switches. Output contacts. Lead switch input for alternating operation. Lag switch input for simultaneous operation. Load number 1 operation indicator, load number 2 operation indicator, load omit switch. The input and output terminals for this model are electrically isolated. Operation and typical wiring diagram of the AS2. The alternating relay can be used to operate single-phase and 3-phase loads of any capacity such as motors, pumps, compressors, cooling systems, etc. In this example, we will use pumps as it is the most common application. When the lead switch closes, the pump number 1 starts, and it stops only until the lead switch opens. When the lead switch closes again, the pump number 2 starts. Note that the pumps are alternating. If pump number 2 is not enough and the lag switch closes, the alternating relay now runs both pumps simultaneously to keep up with the demand. When the lag switch opens, the alternator keeps both pumps operating. The alternating relay turns off both pumps only until the lead switch opens. AS34 model for 3 or 4 loads. 120 or 220 volts AC power supply. Open contacts. Lead and lag switch inputs. Power indicator. Load operation indicator. Selector for 3 or 4 loads. Selector to omit a load. Operation and typical wiring diagram of the AS34. Lead and lag switches. Contactor coil. Power supply. The operation of the AS34 is very similar to that of the AS2, with the difference that the AS34 works with up to 4 loads. It can alternate and simultaneously run all the loads. Nassar Electronics is a pioneer in the design and manufacture of electrical and electronic equipment since 1973 and has been internationally recognized for the design and quality of its products. For more information, visit www.nassarelectronics.com.